Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of Media Matters by Anfield Index. It is Monday, the 23rd of June, and what a week or so it's been. What a week it could be with all the rumours of incomings and outgoings going on. And I'm joined, returning, who maybe just picked one of the worst weeks to go away, but we'll still have plenty to write and talk about this week. He's back, David Lynch. I mean, David, you missed out on about 80 billion stories last week, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just classic, isn't it? I mean, usually under Jurgen or whatever, you'd kind of be, really quiet. Well, most summers were quieter and it wouldn't be like a flurry of stories straight at the start, but it just keeps coming, doesn't it? Every week seems to be busy. So you'd probably struggle this summer to get a week where it would be quiet and not much would happen. But not the best timed one, but not too gutted to get away and get a bit of a break as well. So it's been nice.
Yeah, it does feel like it'll be pretty relentless all the way from now till the start of the season, even through to the close of the window. So we'll see what it brings. But ladies and gents, we'll do what we normally do. We'll talk about the off-the-field matters, and don't worry, we'll talk about incomings and outgoings, of course. A million and one things to get into. So we'll start, I suppose, off the field's probably the best place, the admin bits, as we'd say. And there's a lovely photo on the screen there of Arne Slot with what is rumoured to be his next assistant, the Johnny Heitinga replacement, former left wing back, you could say, for Barca and Arsenal, Giovanni van Bronckhorst, been in charge at Rangers previously and other Dutch clubs. This one seemed to explode all of a sudden from nowhere, David, but it's gone quiet. Is this just one because he's not coming from a club, it's just done? Are we waiting for developments on this one at all?
Yeah, I just don't think there's kind of much more to run with this story other than he's just going to turn up for the first day of pre-season, really. So, the way that was reported kind of seemed, and like I have to say, I haven't really been across this one because obviously I've been away. But like I say, reading into the reporting and reading between the lines, I think that one's pretty much done, to be honest. So don't think there's going to be an announcement. They're not going to be flying him in to do an interview, and he certainly doesn't need a medical or anything. So it's just going to be, like I say, he will be part of the coaching staff, or that's my expectation on the first day of pre-season. And yeah, I have to stay on this one. Bit of a surprise, to be honest. I thought there were a couple of other names who might be in the frame, who were more kind of assistant coaches, but they've managed to get someone who's been a manager very recently, done a good job in that. Someone who's kind of stepping down to come into this role, you would think, in terms of his responsibilities. So it feels like a big coup, to be honest. And like I say, not a name it was on my radar to think might be a possibility for this role. So it seems like a really good appointment and a strong response to losing Johnny Heitinga, who I know was like a highly rated member of that coaching staff. So, seems a really, really good appointment, but we won't be seeing, I don't think we'll be seeing much from him until pre-season starts.
True. Something tells me he's not going to be doing an interview with national TV for his dad, but we'll see if we get anything more around this one. What we also got last week as well, ultimately for all the transfer talk, it's the fixtures. It's on the pitch where Liverpool can win things. And we got them announced with the certain dates. Now, I'm still a bit unsure about this one. Opening day, Friday night, Friday the 15th of August. What do you make of Friday night football?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's a little bit of a pain in terms of your weekend plans or whatever. So it does kind of eat into that. But that said, it leaves you Saturday and Sunday free. So that's always kind of a nice change, and that'll be good. So I'm not against it from that perspective, I guess. But it's just if you want to go for a pint on a Friday night, it's not the best. Although as someone who has a 2-year-old, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Like, that's a regular occurrence for me these days, to be honest. But I think as a spectacle, it's quite good. I'd say similarly about a kind of Saturday night kickoff. They're a bit painful when you get one, but the atmosphere tends to be good. People can, have a few beers beforehand, and everybody's ready for it at the end of the working week. And like I say, the good atmosphere is under the lights as well. So I'm not against them. And I think this one, I think everyone will be really excited for it. The start of the title defense. Obviously, there'll be a few new players in the team, bit of a new look squad, and everybody really looking forward to it. And that Anfield under the lights atmosphere is always special. So, I don't think it's a bad draw for Liverpool, actually, and obviously very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And it's the Sunday Community Shield just before, so 2 games in a week to open the season. And I mean, we look at a few of them there. I mean, after Bournemouth, Newcastle away, then Arsenal at home. It's 2 of the, the big Champions League teams you could say there as well. Last season felt like, and I'm saying this, touch wood, and it can always unfold a different way. People described it as an easier start, shall we say. Are you a fan of the easier starts and the tougher teams a bit later, or get the tough ones out of the way first, you reckon?
I think it certainly worked for Liverpool last season, the way it fell in terms of because they were under a new manager, they had to kind of find that rhythm and work their way through it. I mean, they started really well, even in pre-season in terms of playing on a slot football. So it didn't take them long to adapt. But, I do think it was helpful that there weren't too many fixtures in that starting period. And this is not just something I'm saying after the fact. I think we discussed it at the time that it looked a kind start on paper, and so it proved really. So I do think that was helpful to build the momentum, and kind of Liverpool after that first 6 or 7 games got themselves in a position where they never really looked back, did they? And they were just kind of led from the front really from there. So it was helpful. I guess, this time slightly more tricky, and you've got to kind of say, well, okay, where are the upsides in that? And I guess it's that they have got a bit more rhythm this time. They know what the manager's expecting. I'd probably like to see a starting 11 for those first few games that's not got too many changes, too many new faces, try and hit the ground running and then bed people in. Although I expect Florian Wirtz will be part of the starting 11 given how much they paid. But not too many changes I think I'd like to see. But there's some trickier ones there. And you just hope, because full pre-season, everybody knows how this manager works now, that it will be, they are more capable of taking on these tougher fixtures first. And I kind of look at, I always think tough away games in your first tranche of fixtures are actually quite good, because typically when you're the team that goes away in a really tough one, you can kind of be expected to sit in, ruin the game, hit on the counter. And that's much easier to do against a team that's not in its best rhythm. So, Arsenal will be thinking when they come to Anfield, that's a good setup for us to do that. Liverpool won't be absolutely electric and pulling teams apart at this stage, as much as we hope they are. But equally, going to Newcastle, they won't be in their best rhythm. There's a chance there for Liverpool to be at the best. So you can kind of look at it a few ways. And there's just no doubt it's a little bit of a tougher start to this season. And you just hope that Liverpool can rise to that challenge, because, if you can, as much as an easy start played into their hands last time and they just absolutely flew for the rest of the season, if they can make a good start having come through this, there'll be kind of fixtures on the other side of it. And then all of a sudden you're in another run again, and there you go.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It will be interesting to see how it unfolds, but not too long to wait till Friday, the 15th of August. And in the meantime, I mean, John Henry seems to have found his wallet for us, doesn't he? All of a sudden, as people are tweeting and sharing opinions on. And actually, for FSG, this story came out the other week as well, that they're looking at Getafe. We've seen the non-starters at Bordeaux. Malaga seems to have gone quiet. Heard anything on this one, as if there's any realism this time around?
Yeah, again, I can't claim to have any kind of personal information on this one, because it's been while I've been away that it's broken. But it does kind of make sense. Again, it's a team. Well, I mean, they're not as much in kind of hard times as you maybe would have said that Bordeaux, where it's not that sort of situation. But obviously, they're in a top league, a league that doesn't have as much money swimming around as the Premier League. Would be a good place to base talents, give you an opportunity to kind of, like we said, one of the biggest reasons that this will be beneficial to Liverpool in a multi-club model is for signings like, although it's not worked out for him, but Stefan Bajcetic, for example. You can't sign him now because of Brexit rules, whereas, if you could sign him for a Getafe, use him there, develop him, they get the benefit of that, they improve, and then, of course, then you can do the deal to bring him to Liverpool. Then it, in theory, kind of works for everyone. So, seems an interesting one there. So, like I say, not personally got any information on that one, but it's it's going to have to happen at some point, because the whole point of Michael Edwards being there is that he's going to oversee this multi-club model. So they've been putting the feelers out for a while, and this is the latest opportunity that comes up. So hopefully maybe this is the one that they get over the line, because I think they want to start working towards that, particularly there's noises about Michael Edwards' future, and I wonder. I'm thinking about that. This is just purely speculation, but I wonder where that story maybe came from his side, just to put a bit of pressure on to get that multi-club model moving. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but it's interesting timing on that one, isn't it? And hopefully they can move forward with that, and we see how it all works.
It's funny, yeah, in the same sort of week where Julian Ward linked with the sporting director role at Newcastle as well. So maybe the cynical side makes you wonder. We'll see if anything develops with this one. And I suppose the final real off the field matter, the PFA awards, the shortlist for the Players' Player of the Year were announced. And it's great to see two Reds there, Alexis McAllister, Mo Salah, quite rightly. I've got to be honest on this, though. No Virgil van Dijk. That's just a travesty, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's surprising because it's the players as well, and they're usually a bit better at reading these kind of things and coming up against them. I wonder with Van Dijk, is it's just become the situation where everybody's so used to how good he is that it's almost boring to mention it, and that he's just been this excellent for such a long time that the players don't even think to vote for him, and he kind of slips down the pecking order on that basis. But it is nice to see. Obviously, Salah was a no-brainer. Everyone was going to vote for him, and rightly so. But it is nice to see McAllister get noticed because I just think he's unbelievable. I know there's a whole kind of subsection on Twitter, isn't there, who don't think he's very good, or he's going to be the first one that comes out of that midfield. I mean, I just don't know what games these people are watching. I just think he's without doubt Liverpool's most important midfielder, and one of the most important players. Full stop. He's just brilliant at everything that you might ask in the centre of the pitch, and therefore brilliant at everything that constitutes being a footballer. So, really nice to see that other teams and other players have recognised that, really, because Salah was an easy one, but McAllister's it's good to see that they recognise that.
And it should really be a clean sweep for Mo in all the awards, but we'll see how the voting goes. And I suppose this kind of falls in off the field matters, but you may or may not remember this, and it's kind of just looks like it's peeking into screen on your shot. But do you remember about a year ago, before the season started, if we were successful with one of the big prizes, someone dug this out for us quite happily. But do you remember what you pledged possibly involving a guitar if we were to be successful for one of the big pots? Do you remember that at all?
No, don't remember at all, Dave. Don't remember any of that at all.
Well, it's lucky that we've got video evidence stored for such an occasion. We won't play it just now, but all we'll say is in the next few weeks before the season starts, as per a few Lewis Steele suggestions, you might want to get the guitar fingers ready. So just have that prepared. So are we kept up to date? Are we ready for the latest tunes? Have you heard Lewis Steele's suggestions for you even?
I've not, and I don't want to know what he's suggesting because I guess it's terrible. But I don't know why I said that at the time because I'm so embarrassed about the thought of it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe just dig out some old videos of me playing and maybe put those out somewhere or something like that, just to keep the mob off my back about that. But really am full of regrets about suggesting I would do that. Yeah,
there's even transfer rumours that he's in talks with Ian Doyle's band about a collab, but we'll see what goes on there at the same time. So that is, ladies and gents, all your off-field news.